This is the project that we are creating, okay? So I'll show it to you like this so you can see it just a little bit better. Okay, this is the base that I created for the candle because I wanted something for it to sit on. And I didn't want to use, anything else. My original idea was to do a large wreath. That's what I really wanted to do. And I had some problems and I couldn't do the large wreath. So at the very last minute, I had to switch gears and come up with a whole new idea and a new concept. So that is how this came about. And then this is the candle that I created to go inside. And of course, this is a battery operated candle, because we got to make sure that we're safe and we don't, burn the house down or burn the trailer down. So that is what we are going to be making today, you guys. Is that absolutely adorable or what? It's so cute and super, super easy to make. And then, like I said, you sit it on there and then you have a nice little centerpiece for your summer parties, right? I know it's kind of hard to see with the camera angle, but there you go. Okay, so let me set that off to the side and then I'm going to show you what I used to create this. Okay, so these are the products that I got from Waffle Flour. And as I said, I had changed my mind like a couple times when I did this project. I originally was going to do a slim line, and then I thought, you know what? Nope, I don't want to do a card. I want to do a wreath, a really fun summer wreath. And then that got switched to the candle holders. So, but I did use the dies in this set. This is called the Slim Lacy Layer die set. I absolutely love this die set, you guys. I love the scallops and stuff in it to make the slimline cards. And of course, I didn't make it to create the card, but I did use it to create the candle wrap that I put on the front of the candle. So this is the die set that I used for that. And then, of course, this is the adorable stamp and die set that I used. This is called Mermaid Mail, okay? And then this is the matching die set that goes with it. Look at how many stamps there are in this set. There are a lot. I could not even use all of them because there's just so many. And then, of course, whatever is in here, you get with the die set if you purchase the die set too. So this is what we are working with today, and I'm going to get started and show you how to do it. All right, so let's put that off to the side. Okay, so how I started is I took a 6-inch, this is what they call a candle ring, okay? And obviously, it is to place your candles in, okay? So this is what I started with. It is a 6-inch in diameter. And to get started with it, what you're going to do is you're going to lay this down on a piece of cardstock or a piece of pattern paper, as I've done here, okay? And then you're going to lay it down and then cut it out and adhere it. The easiest way to do that for me is to adhere the paper first and then take my straight edge and then cut around. Now, because I wanted a base, I did not want the candle to just sit. I wanted it to have a base. So for that, what I did, and I'll tell you why I did that. I put the base on for one simple reason, because I absolutely loved this little miniature chair that I had found at Michael's, and that chair had to be in my project. It just had to be. And so that is how I came about with the base because I wanted something that it was going to be able to adhere to. And then the candle and everything would just be all in one. So that is the reason, because as I've always tell you guys every single week, for me, when you're crafting, it's always in the details. So I absolutely loved this chair, and then I added this adorable umbrella here to it, and then of course, you know, finished decorating it. But that was the reason why I put a base on this. Okay, so you're going to put your pattern paper on first, and then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut a circle out of some heavier cardboard. Okay, you want this to be a little heavy. You don't want to use cardstock. You can use a chipboard if you double it, but because the candles are, you know, can be a little heavy, you want to make sure that, you know, your base is going to hold. Okay, so again, what I did was I laid it down and then I cut it out, but I left the inside. Okay, did not cut the inside. So, and then what I would do once I have this cut out is I would take an emery board here and then just kind of go over my edges just like this, just to, you know, kind of finish them off a little bit better, just to make it a little bit cleaner, because, you know, I like it to look pretty and clean. Okay, so once I have done that, then what we're ready to do is we're going to glue this on to the base of the ring, the candle ring. Okay, so we're going to add some glue here, maybe. All right, where's my nifty little pin? There it is. I do not know what I would do without my nifty little pin. For those of you that have never seen me do this before, this actually is what they call a hat pin. You know, one of those large hat pins. And my mom taught me this trick when I was a kid, where, and you can see, because I really need to do a new ribbon because this one is pretty beat up. But what I did was I took the hat pin and I took a tiny piece of ribbon, wrapped it around, and then I sewed it on. And so that way I've got something to hold on to. And then when my glue is still stuck in the bottle, then I can just add it like that, and then we're good to go. Okay, so there's a little tip that I'm sharing with you today. All right, so we're going to add the glue to this, and then just slap that on there. Okay, there we go. So now you've got your base. Now, for this part, what I did was I wanted some mesh to add on the top of this to give it some detail, right? To add to the top of my candle base. Well, the mesh that I had, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looked. So the strange thing is when I went to Michael's, because I'm not home, so I had to go buy some shells, because if I was home, I would have some. So I had to go to Michael's and buy some. Well, the shells come in this really cool mesh bag. I know that you guys have seen them. You know, they come in a bag like this, and it's all full of shells. And I was looking at that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is perfect for what I want on the top of my candle holder here. So what I did with this is I took it and I cut it. Okay, I cut it in half. And then what I did was I just folded over the edges here like this. And we're not going to worry about what this looks like in the back here, just for the simple fact that we're going to slap a shell on there, so you're not going to be able to see where you're adding the glue. Okay, so I just took this and took the end here and then just glued it right on top of my base. Okay, and then as I said, what we're going to do then is we'll add some shells. And I think my shells are on the opposite side of my table. Of course they are. Well, that's all right. Okay, so once you have that started, then what I did was I took this and I pulled it out. And I wanted to make sure, okay, that I got it, relatively even. So I took the other end, and again, we're going to just slap some glue on there. And then I'm going to put that other end on. Now, I know that you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, Lisa does not do messy stuff like that. But as I said, we're going to cover that, so you're not going to be able to see it. Okay, so once you have that started on like that, then what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of work it around the whole ring. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of glue there. And just adhere that down. And then again, we're going to do it over here on this side. Just so you're doing it in the in 4 areas. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of glue there. I'm not going to be truly happy with glue guns until they come up with a thing where there's absolutely no strings at all. So they need to do that for me. Somebody needs to develop that for me. All right, and then we've got this last little piece that we're going to add right here. Now, right now, I know it looks like a hot mess, but it is going to be really cute when we add all of the fun stuff. Okay, so once you've got that on there like that, then what you're going to do is we're going to take some little bits of hemp cord, got some here, and then I just took it and just kind of tied it off in a few of the little areas there. And then that way too, if I needed to add a little bit more glue, then I'm good with the glue. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then, yeah, see, so I'll add a little bit more glue there. And then we're going to do this all the way around. Oops. Okay. There we go. All right, so I'm going to add these. And then what you can do, if you need to, is come back and trim those up a little bit if you need. I think I'm going to add one more right there, because this is just kind of bunching up right here, and I don't like it. All right. So, but I love this mesh because it just reminded me of fishing net, right? All right, so we're going to cut those off. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit more glue where each of these strings are. Okay, so now you can kind of see as it comes along the method to my madness. Is what my mom used to call it. Add one there. Okay, and then a little bit right here. All right. So there, now you've kind of got your base, and you're ready to, add all of the fun accents to it. Okay, so for that, what we're going to do is I'm going to go back and trim these up a little bit, just because I think they're a little too long. So we're going to trim them up. There we go. Okay. Now, once you have that done, okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to take all of your stamped images, and I have them all here. Let me move this over. Okay, so you've got all of these cool stamped images that I have already, I stamped with my black ink pad, okay, my black Gina K ink pad is what I used to stamp. Oops, that way, there we go. And then of course I colored the images in with my chalk pencils that you guys know that I love to use. And then of course, then I went back, once I have everything stamped and colored, then I went back and I die cut them all out. Okay, so then what you're going to do from here, whoops, I got a fan going and it's blowing my little pieces around. So we're going to move that out of the way just a smidge. There we go. Okay, so we're going to set this one and this off to the side because we're going to put those on the candle. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to add these images all around your candle ring. Okay, so easy enough to do. Just going to, take some glue and then just kind of add them all the way around. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to add these real quick. And you see they're just going to sit right on top. And then we've got, let's see, we're going to put this one back here. And what you can do too, if you want them to stand up a little bit, is what I did here, where I just kind of folded the edge of the image just up just a little bit. And that kind of gives it, a little bit of the dimension that you might want. All right, so we have that little guy is going to go in the back. And then this one is going to go right here. So you see, these will now cover up all of the glue that you use to put the netting down. So once you have all that done, okay, got everything covered, we're going to add this little guy back here. Let's see, I'm going to put him, I don't know, he looks good right about there. Okay, add a little bit of glue there. Okay. And then, as I said, I would add my shells, but my shells are on the other side of my table and I can't get to them right now. So I would put my shell there to cover that up. And then the last thing I would do is take the little chair here. Okay, now you can get these also at Michael's. This one was very inexpensive because I got it on sale. So I think I paid like $1 for it. They usually run about $3. You can get them like in the miniature section. So what you're going to do with this then is I just adhered one of these cute little umbrellas to the back of it. And then as you can see the little shiny, I don't know if you guys can see the glitter and stuff on there. But what I did was I took one of my glitter pens and I just added some glitter to the top of my umbrella. And then it just kind of gives it a little bit of a, a glittery look there. And then also I did the same thing with my images, where especially my mermaid here, where we just took this And these things are so awesome. And then I just kind of go over my image just a little bit. And that kind of gives, you know, it gives it a little shimmer to your images. And I love that because you guys know that I love my bling, I love my shimmer. So you're just going to do that on all of your images, okay? No rhyme, no reason. You're just going to add right on there just like that. All right, I'm not going to do it to all of them, but you get the idea there, okay? All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and then glue this onto your little bottom here. So I have to check it and make sure I've got it right, okay? And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here. Just like that. Okay. And then to finish it up, then I just added some cute little, I added the little seahorse where I put him right on the chair there. Oh, let's see. I'm needing some more glue. All right, hang on one second, guys, because I need to grab another glue stick. And here's another tip for you. If you're working with glue sticks, look at the mess that I'm making here. If you're working with glue sticks and, you know, you're right in the middle of something and the glue is just, it's not, the glue stick is not sticking or sitting in, it comes out. What I like to do is just take a little bit of tape. Okay. And then take my glue gun here. Whoops, I just lost it. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. So when it does stuff like that and the glue stick pops out and you lose it, what I like to do is just take a little bit of tape and just kind of tape it on the end there. And then as I'm using it, when it starts, especially when you're using a brand new glue stick like this, you know, you flip it upside down and it falls out. So you don't want that. So what I like to do is I just take a little bit of Scotch tape and I just kind of tape the end of the glue stick in there just to kind of hold it in place for a minute until I can get it going. And then I will go ahead and remove that tape. But that's just a little tip that I've learned from chasing glue sticks down. You know, when you're right in the middle of something and the glue stick goes flying? Yeah, kind of like that. All right, so we've got that on there. And then we're going to just add these last little guys. Add that on there. Okay, just like that. And then for the most part, your base is done, okay? Again, you would put some seashells right here, you know, to cover up any of your glue mess that you have, if you have any. You know, you can do that. But then as of right now, this part is done. So then we're going to finish up with the candle. Okay, so what I did was I took the die that I showed you for the slimline card, and I cut two pieces, one out of this blue cardstock and then another out of some pretty yellow and pink pattern paper. And I love this because I love the straight edge on the blue and then the scallop that goes around on this other piece on the pattern paper, and I just love that. So You cut them both out with your die cut machine, and then we're going to tie this end off here. Okay, we're gonna tie that baby off. And then okay, so then what you're going to do is once you have that tied off on the side, then you're going to take it, of course, and wrap it around, as I've done here, and then tie it off in the back. Okay? And then once you've done that, as you can see here with the finished one, okay, I tied it off in the back here. And then before I added my little mermaid, I just love this really pretty bling trim that I found. And I love this because it looks like it's waves too, because it's wavy like that. So I just added that on top of my strip here. Just like that, as you can see. And then last but not least, then what I did was I just added my mermaid here on the front. And then I took some double-sided tape, a tape runner, and just added a little bit of tape on the back of my plants here and put those on the front. And that's it. And that's how you create this really cool project. So isn't that easy? It is such an easy project to do, you guys. You're going to absolutely love it. It's not, it's relatively inexpensive too. So that's always good, especially if you're, looking to make more than one for table decorations. You want to make sure that it's not going to, cost you an arm and a leg. But again, here's my finished one once again. And then isn't that just adorable? I just love that. I love anything beach themed, but I just thought this was just super, super fun. All right. So let me switch cameras here real quick. And then Miss Ann's going to come back in. Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. Now see how easy that was? Super easy project to create, but just really fun and colorful and, just cute. You know me, I love cute. I love lots of color and all of that good stuff. So just super fun to make. But while I'm waiting for Ann to pop back in, I am going to look over your comments and see. Okay. Ah, Bonnie, see? Yes, mermaids always need a little sparkle, don't they? Of course they do. All right, there's Ann. I just see her pop right in. So much fun.
That was such a cute project.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
adorable.
loved it. I loved it. It made me smile. It just makes me smile. Anytime I see anything that's just really colorful and blingy, it makes me smile. I'm really easy. Yep. I'm easy to please, just piece of cake. But I do want to share a tip really quick. For those of you that are using clear stamps, okay? All of your clear stamps come in packages like this. And a lot of times when you go to stamp them for the very first time, you're not getting a clear image, right? That's because there's like a coating or something that's in the process of making the stamps. Yep. That is on there. So what I have learned to do is when I get my new stamps like this, before I use them for the first time, I'll take an emery board and then I just do this. And I get that edge, not the edge, the topping off of those clear stamped images or the clear stamps, because that way you're going to get a nice, crisp, clear impression.
Yep.
Because nothing is more frustrating than you get started and, you're like almost done with the project and you're finishing up with the stamping, and then the image doesn't come out and you want to just shoot yourself in the head. So we don't want any of that. So for those of you that don't know, emery board, just lightly over the stamps, and then once you do that, then just take a paper towel or a baby wipe like Anne uses, and then just wipe them off and you're good to go. And I've been doing that for years, and I have never had an issue with a stamp.
Well, and the tips are always good. When you give tips throughout when you're creating, I think that helps so many people immensely. I love tips. They're one of my favorites.
I know. Tips and techniques, and you do those really, really well. You give a lot of tips and techniques and stuff. So, I like that because, who would have looked at, maybe nobody would have looked at that bag of shells and thought, oh, okay, you could use this in a project and use, maybe not the shells, you could use the mesh, it's little things like that.
Right. I used to save the bags that the onions came in and the lemons and limes for that reason.
That reason.
Yep. Okay, so Rebecca said that I use an eraser on the clear stamps before stamping for the same reason. And Dawn says, nice. I just rub my fingers across the stamps. Yeah, it is all, what you learn, but tips are awesome.
Yeah, and if that works for you, that's perfect. I never thought of just using my finger. I just, came about it one day when I couldn't get a clear impression and I was getting frustrated. This is like when clear stamps first came out, and I was like, oh, come on. And I used a piece of sandpaper at that point. But
and you can't really hurt the stamps.
No, which is good
because you're doing it lightly.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take your emery board and you don't want to do that. You just want to kind of go over lightly just to kind of get that off. Or you can do it the way that Rebecca said with her finger, and then I think Dawn said, oh, she uses her finger and Rebecca uses an eraser. So those are great tips. Very great tips.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Love when you guys share tips too. Love it.
We do. Denise says the bags are cool. I saved the orange ones. Yeah. And you know what's really cool? Avocados now come in not a mesh bag, but it's kind of a fibery bag, or at least where I am. It's not that plastic mesh. It's more like a fiber. And those are really cool.
Oh, I don't know. I think we have plastic bags. I don't know. I'd have to ask Rich. Rich does the grocery shopping for me, so
Rich does the cooking.
I don't cook. Yeah, I'm not a good cooker. I'm just, I can get by, but
I cook, but Mark does most of it because he likes it.
I think that a lot of creative people I have talked to through the years don't cook. We're too busy being creative.
I do cook.
I don't.
But I would say now that the kids when the kids were home, I did 90% of the cooking. Mark would cook when we grilled or when we did, but now that's just the two of us. I would say he does 70%, I do 30, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich is mean on that barbecue grill. I'm telling you. So I just tell him, honey, you cook all you want, because he is so good at it.
Well, they like to do it. Yes.
Yeah, they do. They do. He absolutely loves doing it, and he takes our one little wiener dog, Emmy, because that's his bud, and she sits on his, sits on, we call it the throne, outside next to him. These dogs are spoiled rotten. My kids are telling me all the time, "Gosh, Mom, the dogs, they didn't treat us that good." I'm like, well, my dogs don't obsess me. They don't make me crazy for the most part. But that's a whole other story. Anyways, we have winners that we're going to announce at your live, because I didn't get it done before my live. So I got to get in there with the computer program really quick and find out. But we are going to be giving away 2 of our ebooks. 2. Okay, so and you're going to
2 winners.
Yeah, 2 winners. So you're going to announce. I'm going to get those names to you, and then you're going to announce them on your live next.
Yep. And
which is coming up.
Don't forget to like, share, and comment this live to enter. What is Waffle Flower giving away?
$25 gift certificates. Yes. And we're going to announce that next week. So you want to get in on that, because they have some really cool stamps and die sets. So you want to make sure that you get in on that. I know. And also, too, we like to keep the lights open for a week, because a lot of our viewership comes in replay. We have a lot of people that watch on replay. So we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to win. So you do have a whole week to enter. But just do as Ann said and hashtag Bella Crafts, and we're good. Yep. So you want to tell them what you're going to be doing in about an hour?
In about an hour, I got a stamp and die set, and I'm going to be sharing. It's a lot of tips and techniques on how to use this stamp and die set, and I can use it with my watercolors, so that.
Yay! All right, we love tips. We love tips and techniques. Yep, yes we do. All right.
Wait 1 second. Denise says that her cat rules the roost here. She says she owns the house. We say she owns the house and lets us live here. Isn't that true? Pets really kind of take over.
Yeah, they do. They do. They take over and they run the house. I mean, I know mine do.
and Rebecca says, I think we all spoil the pets. My parrot.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And yes, that's true. I have 14 grandchildren. So
there you go. So
I'll do my spoiling for them.
I was going to say, you spoil all those grandbabies.
Probably not nearly enough, but.
Isn't that the truth? I love that. All right. Well, that is it for me today and Ann, but she's going to be back in an hour, little less than an hour, and she's going to show you some cool stuff with some more waffle flower products, I should say. And
I'm going to show you the reason I love their stamp and die sets.
Yes. And next week, I'm going to be using some Ann products.
No.
And should I tell them what we're going to be making, what I'm going to be making?
You can.
Okay. I am going to be making some earrings. How about that, you guys? Stepping away from the paper stuff. We're going to stamp on wood again, and we're going to make some earrings. I can't wait for that. I am so excited about that. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I am. I'm so excited about it. All right. So that is it for me, you guys. Ann will be back in about an hour. Well, we'll both be back in about an hour. And I think that's it. Until then, make sure that you guys have a safe week. Stay healthy, all of that good stuff. And don't forget to take some time to craft, because it's good for your soul. It really is. Always. All right, you guys, you take care, and we will see you in about an hour.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.